Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is a new year and this is the first video of the new year, so how appropriately it is to consider and recap through the holidays in December, but also just focus and share with you my intentions for the new year, for our family and for our home, and what that looks like. So if you're new around here, my name is Hannah. I'm a homeschool mom of 4 kids, 3 are school age, and on this channel I share about my homeschool journey and things that I love and are passionate about it, and I appreciate all of you that have found value here, and I hope that in today's video you will be able to take some little nugget away from maybe the intentions that we're setting out this year. And I would love to know if you are someone that just sits down. We don't have to call it resolutions, but if you sit down and you think through your new year, I would love for you to share with me what's one intention or something that you are focused on in the year 2023 as a family and as a mom. So this video is in collaboration with 2 wonderful women, Abby at Rooted in Rest and Jessica at the Waldock Way. Every single month they do a collaboration video where other mothers can share on a topic and post it in a playlist. So if you are interested in either watching along with that playlist and seeing what other moms are intending for their 2023 year, then you can check out that in the description below. Okay, so what I want to do first is just kind of recap our December. Really, it was like mid-November through the end of the year, the first half of our second quarter school semester, how that went. We did some things different. I discussed that in my first semester recap, which I'll link that video below, and I loved it. I thought that this was the first holiday season. My oldest is 9, so I've been through 9 mom Christmas seasons, that we did well, and I think having intentional downtime, quiet time, reflection, celebration. It's the most beautiful time of the year. We're celebrating Christ coming down to earth, and I felt like that resonated through our home. We did do an Advent. We didn't get through all of it, and I think that I have just come to grips with the fact that we will set intentions, whether they're New Year's intentions or intentions for the semester or for the month or for the week, that may not always come to fruition, and that is okay. But the lessons that we did complete, we enjoyed, and we learned something from them. The other thing that we did during the first half of our semester that we did not do in the first semester, 5 in a row units. So we did fry bread and we did the Great Spruce, and my kids definitely enjoyed doing those book studies along with the different focused lessons, whether geography or literature or crafts, that went along with those books. Because we enjoyed that, along with our, I guess you could say, traditional Charlotte Mason style of curriculum that we use, I went ahead and chose 2 more mini 5 in a row units for the month of February, because I knew that would be the end of our quarter and we could kind of get in the rhythm of the winter season here in our regular school, and then highlight those nearing the end. So I do plan on sharing one of those 5 in a row units here on my YouTube channel. So if you're familiar with 5 in a row and you've done them either as a curriculum or you've done them just like we are, is really a little bit of an enrichment into our core curriculum, I would love to know down below. So those are really the 2 things that I enjoyed most through the holiday season. Of course, just Christmas with children is just more magical. I think it is a beautiful time of year to have kids at Christmas. It's very special. We enjoyed it as a family, and I'm just really grateful. Then the new year hits, and I think especially if you're on social media, there's this sense of like urgency, a sense of like to do all the things, make all the lists, set out all the goals. And here, even in this collaboration, we're talking about our resolutions. I like to use that lightly. Maybe our intentions for the new year. But if you don't have any new intentions or have any plans, that is okay. I think there is sometimes just too much of a hustle and pressure to create this list of things that you plan. But if you don't need to do that, don't do it just because so many other people are doing it. For me personally, I don't really consider them resolutions, but I do reflection not only yearly, but like weekly, right? Who's with me on that one? So this is really no different than what I do, honestly, at the beginning of every month. I like to sit down and I like to think about what went well last month. How can I improve in my home, in my family, in my health, in my business? What areas can I grow? What areas can I focus better in? Or what can I let go that is not good in this season of our life? So I don't know, let me know in the comments. That's kind of where I'm at. So I did shoot out some resolutions, but these are things that I think I do monthly. So you're really hearing my January, or I should say my next quarter focus and things that I am going to be intentional about or shift or change. So if you are thinking through things that you either want to change or you want to accomplish or you want to do this next month or this next year, something that I learned a long time ago, and maybe you've heard this before, but when we are setting intentions or goals, we really do have to make sure they're SMART goals. And I know SMART goals is not a new term. It's been around for years. I learned it years ago, but it's something that has always stuck in my head because when I'm talking to people, and I've talked to a lot of friends about, what are your kind of goals for the year? Are you thinking of anything, or do you have anything you're trying to accomplish? And if we just say, I want to do this, or I want to take this vacation, or I want to read this many books, or, fill in the blank, let me know below. If we just say that, we're not actually going to have any action or actually get to complete that if we don't take a step back and think, how can I make this a SMART goal? So SMART, if you've never heard the term before, it just means that it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's timely. So if what I've set my mind to doesn't fit into that SMART goal, then I either figure out how to make it work, or reassess it, right? Like, I want to travel 10 countries this year. Okay, is that timely? Is that realistic? Right, so that's just obviously an example. But so when I share with you just these 6 things that I would like to be intentional with this year, I really wanted to make sure that they were falling in that SMART goals and that I had a plan in place so that I could set up myself, Lord willing, to complete these things for our family or make these shifts, make these changes. So if you have any questions about, SMART goals or how I plan those, just let me know in the comments below. So I have a few notes out here so I don't forget what I've actually written them out in my own planner and journal. So the first one is literature. I really, really want to focus on more read alouds, more literature, and that would be in our school day. So often in our school day, that is the thing that gets pushed aside. But I also know, growing up as a homeschool child myself, that my best experience was from reading. And so I want to make sure that I'm cultivating it. So for me to make that measurable, doable, I have picked out books for the year. I am going to be starting with that. The kids already know we completed our first week back and we were starting with reading out loud. We're not skipping that anymore. And that's going to help us. It will become a discipline after a few weeks. We'll really get a focus on the literature first and make that a priority in our homeschool day. Second one is having the kids read to each other. I don't necessarily want it to be a check in the box, but maybe instead of my older daughters reading to me, they can read to their little brother. So they're 9, 7, 4, and then I have an infant. so they can even read to him. I think that that is going to also double work, because it's also going to help with cultivating relationships, learning to care. So I want to be intentional about this year, not to just let it happen, because when I have seen it happen, it's such a treasure. So now I really want to make sure it is happening and work on ways, specific ways to cultivate and make that happen. So the third thing is, if you watched my term 1 recap, I talked about how much we loved the hymns and the folk songs. Like, loved them. They were pretty much a highlight of our school day. We loved music. I majored in music in college. We just love music, and kids love music, and it brings you joy, it brings you happiness, it can change the day. So every day we're either singing a hymn or a folk song. That is something that I think can be just so sweet. So if you're not already doing that, that might be this one thing that you might take away from this video and try. From personal experience, from teaching for like 15 years, I know that children love music, and it can do so much good for them. And when you're singing the hymns, you're helping them memorize scripture, and it will bring you so much joy to just hear them in the living room, or they're playing and they're just singing a song. My younger son, that's 4 years old, was literally waiting to get in the shower with his dad, and he was singing Walty Matilda, which is a folk song, and he was just belting it out in the bathroom this morning, and it was just like so sweet. So I am going to be focusing on that in 2023, this next month, right? Being intentional with that. The fourth thing is reading the Bible through together. So our church has done a read through the Bible plan every single year. We have tried as individuals, and have not failed, because you're still reading God's word even if you don't finish it through the year. But my husband and I sat down last week and we talked about how we really wanted to read it out loud and just make it a priority. So we made it through the whole week. We work out. My husband's a personal trainer. I work out first thing in the morning after I have my quiet time. And as soon as we came in from the gym, we got the kids up and we read out loud. And it was about 4 to 5 chapters, or give or so take, depending on how many pages it is. It takes us about 20 to 30 minutes. My husband and I do work from home, so we understand that that's maybe not realistic for everyone. I'm sharing with you how I think this is going to be important for us this year, and these are my intentions. And the only way that we could do that is to do it right away, even before breakfast. And I first, to be honest, gave a little pushback to my husband when he first suggested it. I was like, listen, we come in, the kids are hungry, we got to get started on school. This was my first human nature response. I'm like, I got to get going. It's 7:45, 8 o'clock, the day is starting. And he's like, no. He's like, they can wait. We're going to sit down and we are going to read this together. And I am so glad that I laid that down and didn't push it, and listened to him, and it went so well. And I commented today, I'm like, wow, this week went so well. Our routine went so well, and we prioritized that. It took us 9 years. Our oldest is 9 years old to find a spot for our family where we could discuss the word together. It took 9 years. So if that is something, it has always been on our heart to find a time in the day where we could sit down and cultivate that together, especially now that our kids are older. Don't give up. Keep trying to find it. Where will it fit in your family's rhythm? Because truly, the last 7 days has been a blessing, and I'm excited to see how this will serve our family in this next year. Fifth thing is getting up at 5 a.m. to do all of my personal work and reading and planning, all of the things. Now, I know moms that get up at 4 to do this. But here's the thing. So I run my own business. My husband runs his own business. So we have a lot of behind the scenes work. Even YouTube, right? Editing, but I run a group on Facebook. I have Instagram. We just have multiple facets of businesses. And I have a really hard time multitasking. So if my children are present, I have a really hard time working. And also, I don't want that. I do believe that it's helpful that I'm bringing in income. It's helpful to be able to support my husband and his business and the things that he needs. So what I have found best is carving out time before the kids are awake. Now, sometimes in the afternoon, I might get a little extra time, but I don't bank on that. I don't want to feel pressure on that, and I don't want that pressure to come through. So this is a discipline that I have for myself now that my baby is going to be 1 year old. He's doing really good with sleeping. He's finally sleeping through the night. He's finally taking a consistent nap. I feel like I've gotten my life back after 11 months, because he's 11 months old. So this is the discipline. My husband gets up at actually 4:30, but 5 a.m. he goes to work out. So he's getting me up at 5 in the morning, and I am working from about an hour and a half of work. That includes my own personal devotions. I have some books that I'm reading through some book clubs that I'm part of, and then also any social media work, our Young Living business, any of that, I try to schedule everything in that morning time. That is a discipline that I'm making for the last thing for us for setting intentions in our 2023 year is getting out in nature more. So we did the 1,000 hours outside last year. I printed a chart, I laminated it, I put it on the fridge. It was way too hard to keep track of how many hours did we play outside today. Did we play outside today? 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours? I don't know. So that didn't work for us. The idea of 1,000 hours outside did work for us. And so I am being intentional to get in more nature walks, so be outside more. So for the winter season, as long as it's above 30 degrees, we live in Wisconsin, we're gonna be doing nature walks on Friday. We have some cousins that are local and some homeschool friends and family. If they wanna join us, great, but we will be getting out every single Friday because it is so refreshing to the soul to get outside. And I think one of the most beautiful parts about having the opportunity to homeschool our children is the flexibility and freedom that we get, that we can spend our days outside. Even when it's cold and dreary in winter, we can bundle up, we can get that fresh oxygen. And I don't know about you, but every time that I come in from outside, I just feel so good. And I know that's how the children feel too. And in the wintertime, it's almost more important, even though it's cold, to get outside, because we get so stuffed up and claustrophobic really in our own homes. And so it's so good to just get out and get some fresh air, go for a walk, and just enjoy that season. So those are the 6 things that I'm being intentional. If you want to follow along with more of other moms that are sharing their intentions for 2023, I will put that link below. If you found this enjoyable, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to share with us our journey for this next year on YouTube. And I will see you in our next video. Bye.